Welcome again to Football's Global Hub. This is my match reaction, my five takeaways from the Revs' victory against Atlanta United. I watched the match, and for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will just share my thoughts and my five takeaways from this, what I believe, impressive victory on the road for the New England Revolution. So, huge victory, and I'll go through my five takeaways. But before I do that, I will share my opening thoughts. Also, want to mention that if you haven't, to subscribe on YouTube to Football's Global Hub, you actually will get alerts to when I'm going live. I go live at different points, so it's at Football's Global Hub. Find it on YouTube, and please do subscribe. And again, this podcast is based in Boston and won't just be about the Revolution, but recently I'm talking a lot about the Revolution, and I'm happy to. I know they're winning, but I'll be talking about them when they're losing as well. But right now, there are a lot of good things to talk about when it comes to the New England Revolution. And before I go on any further to give you my opening thoughts, I just want to mention this because if you're not aware of this, and I'm sure there are fans that aren't aware of this, I'm going to make you aware of it right now because the New England Revolution are currently third in the Eastern Conference. Yes, I'm not making that up. They are third behind Inter Miami and Nashville. So just think about that. With a game in hand on Inter Miami, the New England Revolution have only played 8 matches, currently on 15 points, 5 victories, 3 losses. Goals for are 16, goals against are 11. That's a goal differential of a +5. Think about this. 4 victories at home, and now you have that elusive away victory. This is all encouraging. The early stages of the Marko Mitrovic era, I think you should be a little bit excited. I know that's difficult for some because they want to give you that, yeah, but they haven't played anyone yet. Yeah, but well, look what's coming up on the schedule. You could say all that, the fixtures coming up, but you could also talk about the fact that they opened up against Nashville and first match under Marko Mitrovic was going to be an adjustment time. Well, they played a little bit and things are going well. So I don't see any reason why you should not be feeling good about your New England Revolution right now. I know that's hard because people like to be negative. They live in the negativity. I live here in Boston. It is a negative sports town, even though this area has seen so much winning. I don't know. Everyone likes the losers. They like to be the yeah buts. Well, I am the anti yeah but. I'm the, well, let's just enjoy what we got. Let's see how they can get better. I'm the glass half full guy, not the glass half empty guy. If that's the guy you're looking for, this is the wrong show for you because I am certainly a glass half full. And you're going to hear that on Football's Global Hub. I will be critical. It doesn't mean that I can't be critical because I can totally be critical. But when I look at the New England Revolution, I'm going to give you the positives and the negatives. I'm not just going to focus on the negatives like maybe some would because they're mad about the ownership. They're mad about the craft. So they can't get around to praising the team when they deserve it. I will praise them and I will criticize them when they also deserve it. Right now, they don't deserve it because they're doing all the right things. So let's get to the match and just share my opening thoughts. And I knew it would be a little bit difficult going to Atlanta, and it's been a difficult place for them to play. Again, last season was a little bit different, and then, of course, you have this season. But it's always a team that's going to be difficult. It's always difficult to win on the road. I don't care who you're playing. And they have a quality manager. They just haven't figured it out yet. So could the Revolution upset a team on the road? And yes, it's an upset. I don't care whether it's so early in the season to judge who Atlanta United are and actually who the Revolution are. We don't know who they are yet. But I'm going to enjoy the growth that we are seeing right now. I'm living in the present, and I'm also sharing what I've watched so far. So what I watched yesterday was, again, the Atlanta United was trying to basically put their stamp on. They're the home team. The impetus is that they're going to control the match. And you have to understand that going into it when you are on the road. And if you want to look at, well, the Revolution didn't have enough possession, struggle in possession, I think that's all valid. But when you're on the road, I think it's just natural that you're not going to have as much possession. You're not going to have as many shots. But it's what you do with those opportunities when they come that is very important. And that's what the Revolution did. And I'll talk about in one of my takeaways about the goal, the disallowed goal, because if that counts, it's a completely different match. Completely different match. And if you don't think so, I don't know. I can't convince you of that. But I will tell you that the disallowed goal changed the match. So with that said, the disallowed goal, and then Atlanta United scores a goal later on in the half, and the Revolution go into the half down 1-0, as I will say. I'll always say it 1-0. And then you're thinking, well, they did it last week. Could they do it again? Could they come from behind just like they did against Columbus Crew? Could they do the same thing this time on the road? They absolutely did. Now, was it a stellar second half performance? No, it wasn't. It absolutely was not. And again, I like the changes that Marko Mitrovic made. I think it certainly helped them in the second half. You definitely saw a difference when these players came on the pitch. Definitely helped. And when you get your opportunity, you take advantage of it. Set piece, corner, took advantage of it. But you build on that and you keep pushing forward to win the match. I've seen too many times where teams, after they score the goal, an equalizer, that they might sit back and say, you know what? We're going to just take a point. We're on the road. Not this team. This team wanted to win, and they took it away from Atlanta United. And then you had a goalkeeper who basically, is, we would say in hockey, stood on his head. Now, was it a poor goal that he gave up in the first half? Yes. I thought Matt Turner should have done better. But Matt Turner stood up when he needed to and basically saved the Revolution 3 points in the end. Made some key saves. So for those who don't think he's worth the money, I think you're dead wrong. He is totally worth the money. Matt Turner is worth the money. I know we're talking about his contract situation, of course, that he's a DP. I don't care. Give me good players. Give me really good players. He's a really good goalkeeper. I don't care about that stuff. Does he save you the match when you need it? Yes. Having a goalkeeper that can be the difference in a game is huge. When you don't have it, you notice it. When you have it, you notice it in a more positive light. The Revolution have an advantage going into a lot of matches because they have a goalkeeper that can save them the match. And that's Matt Turner. Matt Turner is starting to become the Matt Turner we saw the first time around with the New England Revolution. I don't even have this in my 5 takeaways. I'm just going on it right now because, again, when the chips were on the table, Matt Turner cashed it in and did a wonderful job saving the 3 points for the New England Revolution. But overall, it's not always about a wonderful performance, especially on the road. It's about getting the 3 points, finding a way to win, and playing together as a team. This team is playing for each other, playing hard for each other, working together with each other. Culture. I'm going to keep going back to this. I think it's important. Do the Revolution have an extremely talented team? The answer is no. But if you have a great culture with talented players, some really talented players, the players around that, it can lead to a lot of victories. And we're already seeing that. And that's going to lead to my takeaways. So let's start with number 5. And this is, I will say, a little mea culpa on me. I've been hard on Will Stans. Will Stans is starting to prove me wrong. because Will Sands is not someone that you would see as a really highly rated left back. It's not someone that I would think about in those terms. But he's a player that is playing hard for his teammates, playing hard for his team, and actually, I think improving as the season goes on. He has some talent. He is just a good left back. I like a more talented left back, but that's okay. But what he's doing with his opportunity is good, and he has earned that position right now over Peyton Miller. He's earned it. He's keeping it. Peyton Miller, now you see him more coming on as a winger, and that's fine too. But I was all about Peyton Miller should be your left back. But Will Sands has earned the job. So he keeps the job. And if he continues to improve, he'll have the job throughout the season. And he would have earned it and proved me totally wrong. I said this in a prior show that Will Sands is a weakness that teams should exploit. And right now he is doing a very good job. And it's a good sign that you have a player that I looked at as a player that could be taken advantage of. He's not being taken advantage of. He's taken advantage of the other team. Scores a wonderful goal, but it was more than that. I think he played a pivotal role in this victory. That's why Will Sands is my number 5 takeaway from this victory for the Revs. Number 4, scoring on set pieces continues to be a weapon as the Revs continue to figure out how to push forward in open play. And that, again, if you're watching this, I did a terrible graphic on this, but set pieces, and again, the Revolution do not really have this identity yet to how they're playing in open play. When they have the ball, the ball the majority of the time, they are struggling. Let's just call it what it is. It brings me back a little bit to Parker ball. It's very methodical. So they're struggling with this. So you have to find other ways to score goals. And set pieces they've been extremely dangerous. And they scored another goal. A very good delivery from Carlos Heel. And then, of course, you have a great header from Will Sands, who I just talked about. So as the Revs develop their game going forward, their identity going forward, need to manufacture ways to score goals. And being another like set piece United is fine by me. It's a weapon. So it's okay to utilize that weapon while you develop your game as a team. So for me, that's why that's my number 4 takeaway. Huge. Number 3, Carlos Heel at a high level is still needed for the Revs. And as I was just talking about, playing together as a team, do they have high-end talent? Well, they have a few. And Carlos Heel is one of them. So can they win without Carlos Heel? I think they can a match or two. But you still need Heel in this team for everything else to work around him. Now, when a team takes away Heel, which they're trying to, and you saw this against Atlanta United, it makes it difficult on you. But he still has the magic moments. He's involved in both goals. So you tell me if Carlos Heel isn't still valuable to the New England Revolution. Extremely valuable. And I think will be valuable for more than a few years to come. So Heel playing at this level is a wonderful thing because it's just going to allow the other players to grow around with him. But it is still Carlos Heel's team. That's why that's my number 3 takeaway. Okay, let's go to number 2. This is one that I'm sure many Revs fans are still upset about. How is that not a goal for Alassane Youssef? I think I know why. Again, they're calling it offside. And like I said, the letter of the law, yes. I guess it's the right call. Offside because of the situation with Turgeman. I get that, but I don't think the goalkeeper would have had anything to do with it, even if Turgeman was there. So I truly believe that. So the fact that this was became a disallowed goal was something to overcome, which the Revs did. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise because it forced this team to basically come from behind once again and find those magic moments in the second half. Because I think you learn a lot about a team, how they deal with adversity. And this was adversity. This was huge adversity. Taking away a goal where you're celebrating, and how do you overcome that? Especially then you deal with the fact that you give up a goal shortly after that. How do you find a way to win? Well, this team has. And that to me is, again, blessing in disguise, but I have no idea, again, I'm telling you why, but it's a goal in my book. It's a goal. Would have been a wonderful goal. Maybe one of the goals of the season. Now it's not. It's too bad. I've dealt with this with Josh King with Fulham against Chelsea. He didn't deserve that chopped off, and neither does Alisson Yusuf. That was a tremendous strike. Tremendous. And it's just too bad that it doesn't count. But in my heart, it counts. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. So let's end this quick episode with my number one takeaway from this victory. And it's this. Back-to-back come from behind victories show how the culture is growing for the Revs. And I believe this. So as we talk about the talent that they have against other clubs that have much more talent than them, are you just going to say, well, I'm not going to be able to compete because other teams have more talent? No, you have to come together as a team and play as a unit. And this is where coaching comes in, building that culture and the players buying into it. This is not an accident. Back-to-back come from behind victories, and the second one being on the road. It shows that the New England Revolution are heading in the right direction. And I hope all fans get on board with the New England Revolution. I've already seen the yeah buts after this victory. I've seen them. Yeah, but. Well, you can take your yeah buts, and you know where you can go with your yeah buts. Because how about enjoying a team coming together? How about enjoying two back-to-back come from behind victories after watching what we watched under Caleb Porter? Now you have this. This is, to me, and I know people are going to get sick of the Fulham references. This is, to me, going from Scott Parker to Marco Silva, going from Caleb Porter to now Marko Mitrovic is like night and day. And at some point, you got to give ownership. You got to give them credit because they got this right. They found the replacement now for Bruce Arena. It was not Caleb Porter. It was actually Marko Mitrovic. He is the one to push the Revolution forward. I don't want to get and talk about Arena. I could do 5 shows on Bruce Arena. But we are getting back to where the Revs were under Arena. And the talent isn't at that level. But the team camaraderie and the team coming together could get the Revs there. I could be wrong by the end of the season. We shall see. But right now, I'm just saying, I'm going to enjoy watching the Revs. I'm looking forward to the match against Inter Miami. Go watch the clip of what Marko Mitrovic said after the match to the players. Basically, rest up and let's get ready for Inter Miami. You go into this match, no one's going to believe you got a shot in hell to do anything against Lionel Messi. And I get that, and I understand that. Lionel Messi is arguably the best player that's ever played the game, okay? So there are things he can do that no one else can do. No one's learned or been able to shut him down. So you have to expect he's going to influence the game one way or another. But how will the Revolution deal with it? Can they play against a team led by Lionel Messi? Well, we're going to find out. And I'm excited to watch it. And let's say they lose, but they are competitive. I can live with that because it's Lionel Messi. Keep that in mind. But I would not discount out anything with this Revolution team. 4 in a row builds confidence. They're going to be confident going in there. There's going to be no fear going in there. And that's the last thing I want to end with. This team is dangerous. You want to know why? Because they play with no fear. The Revolution are that team now. They play with no fear. They have no give up. They don't give up, and they play with no fear. That's a wonderful combination. And I'm excited to watch this season. I hope you are too. And listen, I want to say before I go in this show, I'm going to be doing many more shows, and I do hope that you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Football's Global Hub. And whenever I go live, please check it out. Please let other Revolution fans know about this. We need more talk on the Revolution. If I can do anything and give even a little talk on the Revs, I'm happy to do it. And I hope you watch and listen. I really do. Because the Revs fans deserve more talk on them. The media aren't going to do it. I'm going to do it. Revolution Recap are going to do it. Others are going to do it too. The Blazing Musket. Others are playing their part. But we need more. And I'm going to be part of that. And I'm happy to be a part of it. That's how I'm going to end this episode. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Russ Coleman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Football's Global Hub.